Hello, everyone. Uh, 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 I, mm, OBS, maybe not OBS, maybe it's the microphone, is intent on pissing me off today because it wasn't working correctly in OBS. It wasn't working in the program that makes me go, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." Testing my patience. Anyways, today we are going to be finishing the intervallo. That's all. Also doing EV reset still. I still haven't gotten it. Exciting. What happens first? I get the shiny, or I don't know what's equally unlikely, but in Limbus company. I use a Heathcliff. Which happens first? All right, that's dumb. Anyways, yesterday when I did this, oh yeah, right. This is so annoying. I have to have chat up on my phone because Limbus, as I've currently positioned it, is blocking the chat box. That's super cool. All right. We're all set up. Yeah, last time there was the war. I remember the war. And there was the whole, we went to the office building, and Gregor got reconfirmation that yes, the war is over. He can move on with his life. Poor guy, man. They'll never make me hate Gregor. I love that guy. But also, I guess there's a whole thing with the ring and the back doors. It is really funny how the only enemies that we've seen so far are the Falvist, though. Canto 9 has one enemy. Thinking. Canto 9 Intervallo also has one enemy. Makes you think. If the volumes are off, please let me know. But I guess let's just get going. I'm assuming that the ending stage will be kind of long, like a dungeon or something, and if not, I'll figure out something to do afterwards. Oh, do we need to have Gregor anymore? I'm so sorry, dearest Gregor. I'm sorry, Gregor. Sinclair doesn't have a bleed ID. And don't piss me off by saying, oh, middle doesn't count. That's an NV res ID. Be so for real. Yeah, no, the very last thing we did was related to Gregor, so we're moving on to the index portion. Ugh. I love Rien so much, but people piss me off. Once we dealt with the Falvis, who invaded the Thumb Nurse Father's destroyed corridor, we left for the indexes. And ran into a few familiar faces, yeah! Waiting for us at our destination. Uh-huh. Don't you guys have today off? Yeah, but I thought I might as well come along. It's, you know, you keep summoning us while we're in the middle of something, so I decided that it might actually be more convenient for us to be with you in person. Your summoning occurred at the most unideal moment. Now, I know you weren't doing it on purpose, but all 3 times you summoned me, I was leaning over snacks topped with a bunch of whipped cream. Today, I learned that blacking out and waking up to a me-shaped indent in a cake I was about to chow down on doesn't make for a very relaxing break. Sorry about that. I should have checked in with you guys before summoning, but I'm still getting used to it. Alright, now you're being too sorry. No hard feelings here, you know? I'm tagging along because I need some exercise, that's all. I appreciate the additional employee assignments. Now, if you could share any information you know about yet another corridor. I hung out here all the time, so I know this place a little. There's a super clingy, annoying little... No, that wasn't the masked dude. There was this other, Is there something you don't remember? Oh, right. Kira probably doesn't remember Sora. Sora? I don't think that name rings any bells for us either. Is that someone who used to live here? Sora really... Other than Albina, who got literally nothing, other than a banger design, Sora and Ren... The writers hated those motherfuckers. They got nothing. They got erased from the timeline for what? Yeah, the Sora was the Index Apprentice, so she probably lived here. Forsooth, the Index Apprentice. Ooh, pray tell, wherefore is it that the middle, the thumb, and the ring each have apprentices, yet the index and the pinky lack them? It would indeed be quite odd if a mere 3 of 5 fingers kept an apprentice each. Retrace I might my recollections, yet I find it like following a trail of odorless air, invisible and unreal. No, there was someone, but I can't. The representations of the pinky and the index's apprentices are missing. No, to be more precise, a merciless blade has shredded them and reduced them to an intangible formlessness. How refreshing to hear the same impression from someone else rather than myself for once. As it seemed that I was the only one who remembered the 2 apprentices, I retraced back to our first meeting and briefly shared what I knew about Sora. Aha, she doesn't sound like a very forgettable character. Well, the Ryoshu cut her to ribbons. That would explain why it feels as though I'm recalling a sequence of events, with a critical part missing in between. I can almost imagine her giggling to herself like a creepy loner, and she probably wears glasses too, right? Like one of those gloomy introverts from anime. I see. So that's why it feels like I'm tearing through each strand of a weave. Ryoshu? Let's say the world's made of strings or threads, clock. With every slash, this blade would be cutting through the flow of strands that twine to compose one's existence. When an object is severed forever beyond repair, you'd think neither trace nor shape would be left of it. But the fibers are still there. But now that you've pieced together some of it, it's almost. Instead of elaborating further, Ryoshu felt silent again, save for the sound of the tip of her cigarette turning to ash, like she was recalling yet another incomplete memory. I guess she's trying to avoid over-speculating on what she doesn't know for sure. Damn, that totally breaks the meta. I had a vague idea of how it works, but this is the first time I'm hearing the deets. Papa had to go through 4 ramp-up stages and remove the seals to, even make full use of his sword. Honestly, yours needs a trade-off. Your sword totally power creeps Papa's. T.O., there's plenty already. Oh, so true. Guess slicing your memory away is a hell of a trade-off. Sorry. Okay, so I'm guessing you don't have anything to contribute for this corridor. Oh, no, I've got one. I don't know where it leads, but the index guy used it all the time. Hopefully it doesn't drop us into an army of indexes. We all know that the nurse fathers were losers, so it probably doesn't. GPU? They rarely gather in big groups. She said, that's pretty unlikely. This Sinclair sprite feels so cursed. Ow! What was that for, Ryoshu? Wait, did you just hit me with the sword handle? I didn't do anything. But I saw it. I saw Ryoshu's scabbard, Araya, suddenly jerking to the side, prodding Sinclair like it was annoyed by something. Araya, you gotta calm down. I won't STS. I'll SYLC until you can barely walk. Yeah, I swear this isn't a slander or whatever. Look, you poked me so hard it left a mark on my arm, here. Well, I don't want to read too much into it, but the scabbard was rattling like it was irritated by something. Stop interrupting. Did Araya have a voice for sure? Stop interrupting for her. This is why she won't stop making up these nonsense acronyms. He's making it worse. I gotta stop him from translating for her somehow. Araya? What the fuck? Wait, that voice just now, it sounded a lot like Araya's. Also, it sounded a lot like mine. Dante, you saw that too, right? The text! Ryoshu didn't do anything. Wait, really? It wasn't her. Nope. Then, it's decided. To be fair to Sinclair, no one else saw it, but I saw in full detail how the scabbard came to be. which means that he couldn't imagine in his wildest dreams that the scabbard poked him out of its own volition. It doesn't seem like any of the sinners heard that voice either. Damn, you guys bully him a lot, huh? I don't think that's true. Well, the lad's been long overdue for a little smack upside his noggin. Now there's something we can agree with. We should head inside. Let's not keep Alan waiting. Kira directed us toward an almost disturbingly normal wooden door, so featureless that I could have mistaken it for any of the dozens of doors we'd walked past in other nests. We were greeted by a whiff of stale, musty air the moment we walked through the door. Is this his fucking torture basement? This character is so interesting to me, but he's... Oh my god. Y'all, he's like so fucked up. His torture basement, bruh. And emerged to what appeared to be an almost dungeon-like basement area. Let's all love Rian. I love him, but he's so... It's the way that he's so not a person and still... sorry for hitting the microphone. But, like, the decisions that he makes regardless. Like, nobody forced him to preemptively kidnap people in case the prescripts wanted something done with a person matching a description. Like, his ass did not have to do that, but he did that anyways. And, like, that's not that... Oh my god, that's so fucked up. But, like... And divorcing it from the being super fucked up, it's a little funny. Like, why the fuck would you do that? What if the prescripts just, like, didn't want him to interact with someone, and then he just has all these people in his fucking torture basement? Okay. Whatever the masked unk's beeper rang, he'd walk through the store. So, who are they? The Index. Oh my god. I love them. Signs of life. There were people living down here. Up until just a few hours ago. Oh my god, there's 2 enemies in this intervalo. Crazy. We're making crazy strides. Why are you here, paper slips? We were only executing the prescript. I've had it with these prescripts, though at least yours don't make annoying beeps. The basement was stocked up with shelf-stable and non-perishable foods, and the cells were all completely empty, save for what looked like a makeshift bathroom in each of them. It is likely that this dungeon was used to imprison individuals of varying features that may be required to complete a prescript. Seriously? This room seems to have been used for something worse than a simple incarceration. Among Faust's conjectures is that the captives were conditioned in body and mind in various ways to match the prescript's liking. Ugh, sounds like that guy was just as crazy as the rest of them. Yeah, because he didn't have... He hated making decisions so much that he just let the prescripts decide his entire life for him. Of course. Wait. That staircase right there leads up. Let's check out what's... Freaking annoying, man. What the heck are you doing? You cannot enter through this door. Oh, I see another graver body blocking in the doorway. Move. I need to see something. The will of the prescript forbids you. You cannot enter through this door. Alright, what do we do? Is it worth forcing our way in there? They seem pretty adamant about not letting us in. I'd prefer if we stayed as far as possible from anything that has to do with the gods. I mean, prescripts. But nothing in this basement gives me any indication as to where the door connects to. Otis is right. We're gonna have to get upstairs somehow if we want to get an idea of where the store leads. If Rian's been using this basement, then I'd like to see what's upstairs. Honestly, learning that this door connects to some basement is more than enough intel to cross it off the list. Still, if this has anything to do with Ryoshu's memories. Alright then, let's push through. Executing your command, Executive Manager. The will of the prescripts is absolute. Is it though? Alright, quirky little one-liner aside. They hate that little kid. Oh my god, 2 enemies. Why is this one an unfocused encounter? Bro. Humor me. I hate having to do this. Alright, I'm already annoyed. Go, my big numbers. Go! Struggling? Yeah, struggle against this. Neutral? That's your skill 3! Is this Merceau any good? Or am I just using him because he's new and he's a ring? He feels... Well, he is a welfare unit, but like... I'm sad that they're not making 2 stars anymore, because now, if you get an underwhelming 3-star, it just feels bad. As opposed to be like, wow, this is like a really good 2-star. Not that it means anything. Index battle, so you can pick win rate and watch a paper slip gain the grace of index to bulldoze. They're not getting anything because they're not going to be hitting me. I am going to click win rate though. Ugh. But they all suck. I hate all of you. You're just going to have to win that. Like, I don't know what to say. You're just going to have to win. You're just going to have to win, my friends. Speaking of, Index Faust is really good. She is really good. Which is why I'm like, is Ring Merceau not... Is he like mid? Am I just using him for keyword? But yeah, every time I've used Index Faust, she feels really solid. All of the indexes seem pretty good, which, you know, I like, because I like the index. But I also like the rings, so I would like them to be good. But they're so scared. They're probably scared of making Ringy Song too. Oh wait, they already did. Mouse. But that guy was good on like literally every team. To be fair, Mouse is also good on every team. Ignore me. I like how you have to watch the cutscene every time she does this. Waste my damn time. Alright, who needs SP? You do. You kill this guy. And then you can kill... this guy. Surely he'll die. Bink. Did I count this one? This is why I don't want to do focused encounters. It makes resetting worse. I want to get this goddamn shiny Eevee already. Oi, what the fuck was that, Ish? Do you like my bleed team using one Kurakumo and not the other one? Just for fun? Because I like Ishmael and not the other one? My weird fuck-ass bleed team. Who's gonna be the surviving random member when I inevitably get Roja next week? Because obviously that means that I can't use Blood Fiends, but who's the last member gonna be? Priest Gregor for fun? You need fucking sanity. Get it. Who's attacking that slot? Was it you? I don't know, man. Probably not. It doesn't matter. Unfocused encounters just waste my time. Especially when they're against human enemies, like... Okay. Alright, Ring Rojo wants Ring Merceau, but Ring Merceau is decent by himself since his marks give potency on hit for every 3. So you get +3 potency at 9 marks. I don't know, in my brain... Oh, keep in mind when I say this, I'm a sanguine desire, because I don't like using ego when I don't have to. The problem with bleed isn't potency. Well, it could be, but it's count. It's count because if the opponent has a lot of coins, which they probably do, they're gonna go through all the coins. So it's hard to keep up a high bleed stack, especially on a single enemy. On a single enemy, it's like low-key kind of impossible unless you use Sanguine Desire. I've not even seen the full animation for this yet. I see. I didn't clash correctly. I like how it brings up the thing in the background, though. I assume that's part of Honglu's kit. I should have looked up what corporism was, because I still don't get it. Oh my god. What's up there? You may speak to me casually, Araya, but in the presence of other apprentices, perhaps you would find it preferable to mimic the tone of the Dihui Star. Come on, it's not like I wanted to be Dihui Star. Just let me do whatever I want while I'm here. Certainly, you have a point. It is? What are we talking about? Oh wait, the thing. Okay, yes. So, what's up there? Up the stairs. I'm not sure myself. I've never been upstairs. Aren't you even a little curious? Why bother peeling back the heavens to see what is beyond? Those wanting, yearning, needn't raise their heads skywards. Am I seeing Araya's memories? Clock, what did you see? I'm not sure, but now we've got another reason to check what's upstairs. Oh, that was like a really short node. Yeah, we've only not been to the Pinky corridor. Maestro. God, this music is so chill. I love Fascia. Whoa, hashtag my index. Index or ring? Who wins in the swag off? Ooh, looking good. Looking good, Joker. Oh my god. I'm gonna feel so old when I think... Y'all, I played Persona 5 in like 2018. That was almost 10 years ago. What the fuck? Help! Help! I should replay that game. Will I like it as much the second time? Because if I didn't care for the Persona 3 remake, will I have similar grievances because it's the same series? And they probably have similar writing quirks. Although my problems with that was more gameplay-based. It was both. Whatever, go my skill 2. The flow of time can affect you if you don't think about it. I'm thinking about it. Ah! But you know what I'm thinking about more? I'm thinking about getting this goddamn shiny Eevee. It's been like 60 hours. It's been 2 days. Can I have it now? It's been over 2 days. Can I have it now? Thanks. Yeah, sure, whatever. Go, my bleed. I already felt super old thinking that Undertale turned 10 last year. What the fuck? Such a foundational thing to my personality. and it's 10. And you may say, hey, aren't you an adult? Yeah. But, like, I didn't really exist until until I was in high school, and even then, arguable. Navigating the mouse with my left hand is not going super well. Oh yeah, right, Kira's with us. Oop. God, it's so funny. Limbus fans make me go hee hee. Are people still having meta discussions? The meta discussions only begin once a faction that people really like is getting power crept. It's like, y'all, you can probably beat the game with base IDs. You can use Blood Fiends. It's okay. But we're not saying that when She Faust is bad, you're dunking on her. You're not saying that when... She's not bad. She's just, like, fine. You're not saying that about Shichun Ishmael. I like that unit. Thinking. Got my win rate. Fuck off. This man has, like, not won a single clash ever. What in the world? This unit has no numbers. I don't get it. Just like, win. Evie, I would really like to not hit 11,000. Actually, you know what? If I'm gonna go to a really high number on this hunt, can it be like at least 13k so it can be my longest 8192 hunt? So it can be notable. But at the same time, I would like to get it. God damn it. Wow. Who's at the scene of the crime, losing the clash, getting staggered? As per usual, this is why I will joyously bench my Blood Fiends. Because of this unit right here, this fraud right here. I think people, the uptick in people calling everyone a fraud because they slightly, like, underperform or whatever is super annoying. But I get to call that unit a fraud because she consistently lets me down. DQ lost against the big index scale. I'll be honest, I'm not looking at what's going on that screen. But Don Quixote and losing a clash, they're best friends. She always loses important clashes. Meta discussion in gacha games has gotta stop. We're all playing shitty games. Oh my god, finally! The entire animation! Huge. Why does Ring Hong Lu feel so busted? He feels crazy. It's entirely because he has such easy access to AoE. He kinda is. He's so cracked. He's cracked out of his mind. Which means, yo, if Index Yi-Song is kinda cracked out of his mind, Ring Hong Lu's cracked out of his mind, what the fuck are the other Nurse Fathers gonna be? They're either gonna be turbo mid, or they're gonna be, once again, game altering. I'm excited for all of them. I mean, I would hope that the ryoshu would be game altering because it's the seasonal capstone, but I don't know, them releasing Rian Sung first almost feels like a mistake. Why would they release him first? Thumb IDs, meow. Yeah, the thumb wanners, y'all are kind of struggling. Godspeed. I feel like they're gonna release middle Otis first. Kind of a letdown that they were body blocking the door. Like there was just some big secret behind it. And it's the one scene. This is where I watch my parents die. Cowabummer. And it's Rien turning back to all of us. This is where I watch my family die. Oh man, that sucks. Anyway. Right? It looks like any other average family home. Oh no, but you can see all the fucking... The drawings are kind of killing me. Oh man, I get cleaning up's a chore, but people should at least dust their home once in a while. You know, something tells me no one's living there. The thick layer of dust covering every surface and the blotchy wallpaper made it clear that no one's been living here for a good while. Whichever family lived here must have had a child. Look, there are drawings and dolls, too. Though it seems like the place has been abandoned for quite a while. Like, wow, there's dolls and stuff and not, hey, there's fucking bullet holes in the wall and scratches! Could something bad have happened in here? Observe your surroundings. Yes, something bad happened in here. Why do you think... Is he stupid? Yeah, something must have happened in here that caused that family to flee. And they never got to return. Yeah, lots of evidence suggesting that. The open door, the single shoe just lying around, the fucking bullet holes littering the entire wall and the couch. So someone fled from home for some reason, never to return. I don't know, it's kind of hard to narrow down the cause. It really could have been anything. It could have been anything, you know. Really, who's to say? Are you searching for something in particular, ryoshu? Yes, but it doesn't seem to be in here. Every framed photo is singed beyond recognition, and whatever documents there were have been torn to shreds. Kinda like my memories. So this wasn't where he escaped to, huh? The index nurse father, Rien. The last time we saw him, he fled the house via the corridor after suffering a severe wound at Ryoshu's hand. If by some miracle he survived, there's a chance he'd come after ryoshu again, but... Something about our last encounter led me to believe that it was the last time ryoshu would ever see him. This is... Oh, do you recognize this drawing? I found myself hoping to see ryoshu piece together another memory. She'd been recalling new details all day whenever something caught her attention. See, like, it's the whole thing of Rien not being a character. Him having a child and a wife because the prescripts told him to, and just standing by while they were murdered in front of them. Wow, that's like so fucked up. And the way he's like kind of an I don't give a fucker. Like, he's obviously so lost in the sauce that his brain is so fried that he doesn't know what to think. But it's clear that having a family did make an impression on him. He did care for them to some extent. But not enough to do anything about it. Thinking. Sadly, she responded softly by shaking her head. Or by softly shaking her head. No, I don't. Whoa, it's like the ocean. That's what Rien is named after. Crazy. Harkening back to the flashback, I think the last note of the canto of him talking about the ocean. I don't remember what, but and there was a kid there, presumably. We're like, oh, it's ryoshu. No, it was his other daughter, right? Thank you, Honglu. Sangria. What does sangria mean again? He made the same house as Roland? I mean, yeah, presumably. If I'm still like a little peeved that who he was role-playing was Roland, because that still comes across to me as just fan service. Because literally, if he was role-playing someone else, would the story really change? The only thing that we gain from the story is that we presumably know who Roland is and the story. But, like, I still think they didn't need to do all that. Oh, mystery enemy. Oh, is this gonna be, blue hair and pronouns? Oh, yeah, it has the, wait a minute. Am I almost done? Oh, this might be short limbusing.
잘 됐네.
After leaving Rien's quarters, we explored the Index's corridor for a while, but didn't find anything that could help piece ryoshu's memories back together. Great work. Now that just leaves the Pinky Nurse Father's corridor. But that room didn't have any back doors for us to explore. There were countless more in the adjacent corridor, but our guideline makes it a bit difficult to delve into each and every one of them right away. Which means that our work here is done. Thank you for your assistance, Dante. Ah, okay. Glad we could help. Dante replies that they're happy to have been of assistance. Well then, it's been a pleasure. After a brief round of handshakes, Alan returned toward the returned to the forward base. We probably should have done the same, but wanna take a look around here anyway? Sure. As we had more business here than simply checking the doors, we decided to stay a little longer and investigate the Pinky's corridor. The Pinky Nurse Father's room had a peculiar structure. Each door we opened led into a room identical in shape to the previous one. And even though I was certain we'd traversed through quite a few rooms, we somehow found ourselves back at the starting point. There are some small design differences between each room that help to tell them apart, but it's difficult to tell which is which unless we look really hard at every detail. Where are we now? The kitchen? How do you know that? I've been here before. Someone ghosted me after promising to watch Fixer clips together, so I thought I'd come visit. It's someone y'all have met too, I think. It was, must have been another one who was severed by the Irayashiki. Damn, you're probably right. Who? Ren, I think. His name is Ren, the Pinky Apprentice. People doing the who thing to Kathy. Y'all are not funny. And it's not funny now. I talked, but no one here really seemed to have anything to say to that. I suppose that only makes sense after all his existence registered to no one here but me. So, when you said back at K-Corp that you'd cooked before, you were talking about this, huh? Yeah. I used to perform intense culinary artistry here. Your scabbard is shaking. The reviews were glowing. One of them was YUM, meaning, yeah, unbelievably mouthwatering. The scabbard, Araya, was defiantly shaking from side to side in a valiant effort to deny Ryoshu's claim. No, her ass can't cook! Must have been that bad, huh? I'm having a hard time believing her, if you ask me. What did you usually make? This sprite of him is cursed! Boxed lunch. Boxed lunch that kids might bring to grade school, with sausages cut like octopuses and tamagoyaki. Tamago. Egg. A bit simple to be intense culinary artistry, don't you think? I don't know. I would fuck up an octopus sausage right now. Didn't you know there's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry? So, I want octopus sausages, tamagoyaki, and... Why are we making sausages out of an octopus? No, I mean sausages cut like octopuses. And, why are we cutting sausages into octopus shapes? Typo detected! 'Cause it's adorbs, that's why. Something like this? What's that? Sausage carved into an octopus shape. Didn't miss a single suction cup. Oh, come on. I didn't mean like a real-life octopus. It's gotta be adorbs, okay? Isn't it all this SD once it goes down the gullet? Why is this so important? But, Mommy, there's nothing like a school lunchbox rivalry. IDU. Uh-huh, you're doing your weird acronyms again, aren't you? It means I don't understand. That's when you say IDK, Mom. SMH. These must be some of the happiest memories Ryoshu and Araya shared. The sinners, me, and Araya, even as a scabbard, could imagine or recall them in full. But for Ryoshu, the most important part of those memories remains sliced away. Still, if we can continue to piece more and more of our memories together by going over these places. Do you want to check out what's upstairs too? As soon as I asked, however, the sinners' footsteps came to a simultaneous stop. Wait. Hang on, Klocka. Don't open the door just yet. I looked back and found Kira and Heathcliff poised to fight, hands on their weapons. This way, manager. And Merceau, who realized what that indicated, yanked me to the back of the line. And in mere moments... So, there was someone guiding those whelps. Figures they'd send more than fodder to the House of Spiders. Stinks of wet dog. The claws of a massive paw slashed through where we had just been standing. Oh, it's blue hair and pronouns. I like them. A wolf mask. It really is, as Maestro Emily... Is it Emily or Emile? Emily Benoit said, this place is already occupied. If you would be so kind as to help me with directions. Is this where Master Callisto's art is located? The question came from a woman who appeared from one of the doors that led to a different corridor. She was wearing a wolf mask, and unlike the Falvis we had encountered thus far, she seemed to make it a point to speak and act with decorum. But the subtle hint of violence in her voice betrayed this air of faux civility. Sure, you're at the right address, lady. Robo-Unk's stuff ain't at this part of the house. Find a different corridor. Yes, I'm aware. But I'm not here looking for his creations, which are easily mistaken for mass-produced garbage. Whoa. I could feel her intense gaze even though her face was obscured by the mask. And there was no doubt that her eyes were bearing down on Ryoshu. Suddenly, I was reminded of what Rien said moments before we fled through the corridor. We let them observe us too freely. What is that? The Falvis got to confirm a lot of important intel, including the fact that the House of Spiders has fallen, and that Ryoshu currently has possession of the Arayashiki. They want Ryoshu for themselves, whether she's completed or not. Ryoshu as she is now. Isn't that intriguing for once? My name is Rufo. Yoshihide, the blade coveted by the Five Fingers, Master Callisto's final and posthumous masterpiece. As a dachshund of Falvism, please allow me the honor of escorting you to our gallery. Do I want to? I don't see the point in hanging out with people in those unaesthetic AM. As expected, Ryoshu declined Rufo's request with a curt reply. And Araya, too, rattled angrily in the dachshund's general direction. Then, I'm afraid my only remaining option is to rely on our usual method of ushering. How are our odds? I don't know. She's probably tougher than me at my maxed out stats. Really? The shape of her ring suggests that she is a dachshund of the school of Falvism. Her position is comparable to that of a capo of the thumb, or a big sibling of the middle. Oh. Verily, that maketh her a foe who may surpass even Ricardo's might, or, with a stroke of ill fortune, even Lei Hung. Doubt she's anywhere near as strong as Lei Hung. Our chances are HOHOM. Half or more? I like those odds. Half or more. Dude, really? Outmoded, has been. Why seek out the art of a has-been after all this time? It was a decision met with much confusion from the outset. To entrust such a momentous project in the hands of one such as Callisto, why, everyone agrees that it is no less foolish than casting a pearl before swine. Okay, question. What does pearl before swine, what does that idiom mean? I don't get it. And they were quite on point with that assessment. His over recovered from the house were more tools than art, the sort that the likes of workshop meisters might assemble. No self-respecting maestro would create such mundanities and call them art. I need them to go into details about what makes his things so slop. What is it about them? Now I must ask for your forgiveness for presuming that you would be no different from the rest of his work. But what I observed from this room completely changed my perspective. The scorched corridor, the ferrity with which you scarred the walls and the floor as though a frenzied beast had torn through them. There was but one tool that could have possibly left such marks behind. At least you've got a passable eye for art. Yoshihide, I ask you, have you ever considering pursuing art of a further elevated beauty? It will be an experience that departs from the dilapidated remnant that dubs itself corporism, a movement so constrained by its obsession over the human corpus that, once it had depleted all meaning it had to offer, began piling on empty definitions onto itself. So, is corporism just the human body in general? I guess that is pretty broad. And you know what? That does make sense then. If your apex, the thing that defines your movement, is the piece that you've made using every single piece of your body, it makes sense that everything you make with that pales in comparison. Because flashing back, things that Callisto said, or maybe it was Callisto Honglu. You are the one who knows your body best, so of course you're going to make the best artwork out of your own body, if that's the defining element of corporism. Because they keep using corpus as like a synonym for body, using context clues. I don't actually know if that's what that means. So, you know what? Never mind. I get it now. Fauvism is a movement that is broken from the traditional mold, unfettered like a beast that roams free. We dare ourselves to ask questions that challenge the mind. What is man? What are things? What does it mean to trace the origin? How do we define that which we call le fauve? See, that's why... fauve. I don't know French, I'm sorry. These are the subject matters which have led us fauves into the field of fertile creativity. And also, there are a lot of animals. Teehee! I don't know. I like the falvists. I think they're kind of cool. Should you, a wielder of that relic, enter the fold of our movement, and will layer your work with such an unrelenting spectrum of colors that it will be destined to leave an unforgettable impression in the annals of history. Banal! Stop. In other words, what we can offer you will be of much greater worth than what you have may learned from a teacher like Callisto. Never considered him my teacher. Not a real one, anyway. Finding beauty among the carnage of blood and flesh is a lesson I learned all on my own. And yes, I know enough about your movement. Maybe I consider some of the works created by your school acceptable, at least among the Ring's art. Or not. I can't remember. Then, will you... But I don't know. I don't know what makes your art more elevated than the one I pursue. The one you... pursue. Didn't the sight you claim to have seen clue you in? Oh, it did. I do understand. Your art may appear to be no more than unchecked chaos at a glance, but upon closer observation it reveals a fierce, dominant force that threads the entire scene together with its keenness as the connecting suture. Your blade work, too, shows much multi-layeredness. Mere keenness often entails mundanity, yet you have transcended such a limit by scorching the tail end of each slash. Truly, a unique aesthetic sense. I believe I've sufficiently understood the full extent of the artistic merit imbued in that scene. No, you didn't. Unless their painters like you are such mediocrities that they fail to recognize the beauty that lies in the grotesque. They do little beyond painting the hell reflected in their eyes and call that shallowness hell's beauty. A sorrow condensed into a cry held in an instant, wrath unbound from the yoke of reason, the fading gleam of despair in the hewn. You give no thought to what those emotions signify, instead observing over the cursory qualities of what is beheld. Let me teach you otherwise. Pay attention, because I won't afford you another long-winded lesson. Ryoshu readied her scabbard. Pointillist, Fauvist, supremacist. What? Suprematists. My bad. Loud writers, cubists. See, I like how some of these are actual art styles, like pointillism and cubism, and then you have the Fauvist. Unless that's an actual art movement and I just don't know it. I'm sorry. I visited my fair share of the Ring's galleries, heard their commentaries, but none of them were to my liking. Your art is an overcomplicated pile of definitions buried under symbols, caked in patchworks of empty shells. You and your art both talk too damn much. Just like Callisto's kept trying to take from other movements, forcing meaning where there was none. Excess is easy, anyone can do it. What's beyond most is making it succinct, the art of abbreviation. Alas, if that is all, if all is one by one abbreviated away, nothing remains in its absence, making the void left behind completely bereft of meaning. No, the void is what remains, and it holds things that can't be found anywhere else. What is this, a minimalist manifesto? No, my aesthetics go beyond the pursuit of simplicity. I pursue the natural germination of artistic immaculacy, a state of perfection wherein further abbreviation is an impossibility. Sangria, alright. A bit abstract, isn't it? Too removed, too plain, with a distinct lack of any meaningful, striking qualities. No, but isn't that the point of what she just said? To have only the meaningful, discernible things, or to have only things that you can't remove things from. I don't know how I'm saying this. Either way, what I'm saying is that I get it. If anything, corporism seems to be the false one. I mean, yeah. But, like, it's so funny seeing, like, oh yeah, Fauvists make, like, freaking chimeras and graft wolf parts to their body. And then you have Pablo Picasso. He's real. That's what I think is funny. What exactly is it that elevates your art above that of Fauvism? Painters. Or the stubborn sort that mere words can convince. Indeed, there is no discipline more subjective than that of art. Also, it's pissing me the fuck off that they're talking about the Fauvists like they're painters. What do you mean they're painters? They're sculptors, if anything. They're making three-dimensional art. That's not painting. Bruh. Discourse concerning its nature may extend for days on end, but it will not change the fact that unseen arts are meaningless, pretentious illusions at the end of the day. Oh, see, no, like, I get it. I see the pieces in my brain. I see abstract expressionism in my brain, because that's what I know the most about in terms of art history. I see the pieces. I see Rothko in my brain. I get it. I understand what she's trying to say. Then I suppose I'll have to carve it right into your eyes. Please do, though I'm afraid it may be overshadowed by the sheer vibrancy of my aesthetics. I am a dachshund of Le Fauvisme. Fauvisme shall personally welcome you to my critique session. I kind of love her. Either way, the full takeaway is, why can't we all agree that, hey, I may not fully understand your art form, but you art is what you get out of it. If this is what you want to pursue, great. And I will do what I get the most out of, and we can both do that. And it doesn't matter if they're different. It is truly that simple. Interesting. Alright, whatever. Go, my scrunklies. I'll be honest, I don't know this character's... Okay, I'm gonna do a funny to piss y'all off. I'm not gonna read the mechanics. I'm not gonna read the mechanics until things start going really south. Ah. I'm so sorry I hit the microphone. I was trying to prevent my cup from spilling everywhere. Rufro and her massive animal parts. Good for her. God forbid women do anything. Look, I know that she has a phase transition once she reaches her stagger threshold, but that's kind of it. I like how Kira calls out her moves like a fucking anime character. It's very silly. I hecking love clicking win rate. Rah! Damn. I click into win rate. I click into win rate. Actually, is there one that you can clash a little better against? No. Okay. Win! Oh, almost at 10,500. Ugh. Free me from this hell. Oh no, you lost. We're gonna see how much this hurts. I know there's something with the big attack and using a defense skill, but other than that, I don't know. Bam. I'm more focused on killing the little squishies. God damn it, Rousseau. I know literally everyone's been losing their clashes. But that one's been... that one pisses me off the most. And what if it's this one? It won't. What even is the context of the what if it won't? Okay, what is this the one? Yeah. If the way that this is worded is so dumb. Also, hi. See, what I don't like is if target has equipped defense skill while having this clash power +6. So, what do you mean it gets more clash power, but it deals less damage? Like, okay. Is this the one? I think. So if they can't make it, I'll just counter on them. You gotta be kidding me. Rah! Oh my god. Help! Help! I mean, yay! He did it. Oh, nice. 10,500. Yeah. Also, hi. Hi, Bug. Why do I feel like I reset over something I shouldn't have? Or like I didn't even look at it. I don't know. I have a bad feeling about that one. If that was the shiny and I reset over it, that's very funny. But now I'm gonna be worried about it, so I'll watch the VOD after this. Alright, back to business. Wait, we can't fucking heal because we don't have no gloom. Wait, yes we can. The ever humble Hexnail. I totally forget that Hexnail can heal. Look good to me. Is there a number you would get, or that you would ever just give up at? At like, fuck, man, I got to 2 million resets. I think it's over. Alright, well, let's look at this from a reasonable perspective. The odds that I would go to even 1 million are so low that it is probably never going to happen. I'm gonna say it depends. I want to say 50k, which feels absurd. But then I feel like if somehow this took until 50k, first of all, before then I would look up if this could somehow be shiny locked. If I'm doing something wrong. Second, I would think of that guy who got Registeel at like 70 something k, and I'd be like, can I beat that number? Can I be the person to beat that number? So 80k. But that's not gonna happen. I mean, who wants to be a deer and check the VOD to see if I got it at 1500 or 1499? God damn you, Don Quixote. Who's at the scene of the crime? Who's at the scene of the clash losing crime? Don Quixote, without fail. I have... they will never make me like this unit. Also, insane that I accidentally used that on a unit that was that was gonna die from bleed. I'm wasting my good skills by not reading the text, by clicking win rate, but it's okay. No, Faust! You're not the clash loser? Wait, no. When the hell did that happen? My ass is not paying attention. I gotta heal. Wow. That's not bad. Oh my god, she's gonna morb! Okay, I didn't think it would be that bad. That's what I get for not paying attention to who that was clashing with. That's entirely my fault. Damn, we're kind of getting beat up. Well, we get to see what happens when yeah, we're not doing this. Like, they probably all have the thing, don't they? You don't have the thing. Hold on, wait a minute. I hate how these skills are worded so much. Okay, so I shouldn't do that then. Because it's going to do 100% damage. Wait, no. Okay, never mind. I get it now. It only does less damage if they have the status. Alright. Here we go. I'm probably gonna have to retry this and actually pay attention to who I'm clashing with. Something something scene of the crime. Except somehow she won. Why isn't Kira getting critiqued, huh? Wait, we're almost at the phase transition. Kind of. God, evades are so good. Is this... Okay, that's just gonna kill. No, I would prefer if you didn't, actually. I'll keep going, though. She summons more? I thought they stayed dead. This fucking sucks. I'll be honest, this Merceau is pissing me off. I feel like he's not won a single clash. Why is he at negative sanity? Wait. Maybe that's why my clashes look better than they are. I don't know, this unit feels like he's not doing much. I'll think about using Sanguine once the phase transition happens, which might be on the next attack. It might be here. That's a lot of... See, that's what I mean about potency versus count. 22 potency, 1 count. It's not about potency. But if they're constantly flipping a shit ton of coins, they're not going to have a bleed stack. Or just kill them. By just get him from orbit. Alright. Well, wasted the skills and the squishies for no reason. Unless... Is this doing any damage? Oh. Wait. Yes, phase transition. You are worthy of the privilege to... What did she say? I was too distracted by my character's... by just said yapping. Oh, brother. This guy stinks. Well, this guy really stinks. Well, this fucking sucks. Anyone who can evade, you should evade. I hecking love evasion. Evasion is great. You fucker. Depends on how much the Unbreakables hurt. Because obviously in Mirror Dungeon, you feel so strong that nothing really matters. You don't have to worry about losing all your clashes and getting dunked on. You also have to worry about your stupid Chungus ego resources. Please, no, Rhodia, I really needed that heal to go off, actually. Why would you do that? Non-sensory. Got her to about half health, though. Well, not really. Ah! Evasions are so scary, though. Oh my god, what am I looking at here? Big skill? Yeah. Can you clash big skill? Do you have paralyzed? No. Favored? Yeah, I don't trust you to win that, but try anyways. I don't trust you. Why is everyone's sanity so sinking? Yeah, that explains a lot. Okay, but high key, it's kind of evil of them to have sinking on a boss with unbreakable coins. I love bosses where you just eat shit no matter what. They're my favorite. That does not feel correct. I don't trust you. Are you paralyzed? Wait, pursuance. I totally forgot pursuance existed. My bad.
신체파의 예술을 보여줄 시간이란다.
Blinking. I'm blinking. I'm plinking. Plink. But it's the fact that you're gonna get a super high sinking stat and get hit regardless. Man, no wonder the sanity is so low. Can't believe I totally forgot. Totally spaced on that. I'm getting flashbacks to the awful, 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 terrible nightmare experience. That was Kanto 7 final boss, Don Quixote. All the unbreakables and the massive amounts of damage that you would have to take because you got inflicted with a fuck ton of bleed. I still hate that boss. Great spectacle fight, terrible gameplay fight. It felt like ass. Argue with the wall. Wait, my goat. I've had enough slander on this character. Don't look at that, it only did 39 damage. She probably resists Wrath. Or Sloth. Does this one even heal? I just assumed that it did. Okay, it does. Ah! Hello! Oh, brother. We're fucked. Units with evades are so overpowered. What am I looking at? Alright, Unfocused Volley. Prioritizes targets that have the vibrant palette. Skill does not trigger defense skills. Ah! That's so scary. Wait, so what do I do? Alright, final power +1 for every negative effect on main target. Max 6. Oh, thank God. Alright. Guess what number the damage is going to be. Guess what number. I'm thinking 800 at least. If target has vibrant palette, deal 100% damage against each target separately, of course. If target has defense skills, well, while having vibrant palette, deal negative 90% damage instead. Clash win. Deal more damage. So, yeah, obviously we're not going to let her win. So, let's just not even read that. Bruh. I assume that they all have vibrant palettes since they've been beaten the shit out of, unless. Never mind. I have no idea how to get vibrant palette. So, if we lose, I should probably check that. Alright, let's just, like, see. Alright, which one of you can hit a big number? I know who can hit a big number. Ardor Blossom Star. Yeah! Alright. Wish me luck. Yeah, I'm clicking the guards anyway, even though when they're not gonna do shit. And Rojia's gonna fucking corrode. You know what would actually be funnier? If I hit him with the Sanguine Desire. Break with strong skill without Vibrant Palette, defense on the rest. Well, since I have no idea how to get Vibrant Palette, I think we're just gonna get hit anyways. May as well defend. Alright. Ishmael, you have to win this. If you lose, we're fucked. We're fucked anyways. I'm still guessing the damage is gonna be over 500, though. Me when I see a singular coin that attacks all slots. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, we're definitely corroding, so this is still bad. Interesting. Okay, it was fine. But Rodia is not doing good. She's doing bad. She's doing real bad. Is there anything that you can clash with that you have any hope of working with? I'm actually going to let her do this, which is an objectively bad idea. But I'm like, well, what else is she supposed to do? Oh. I would rather her die then corrode. Anyway, I'm so scarred from Lei Hung doing 10 trillion damage even when you win against his unbreakable coins that I expect every boss to do 10 trillion damage on their unbreakables even when you break them or when you crack them. Oh yeah, I think Rufo has a do not activate sinking if broken. Oh, okay, I didn't see that. They should put that text at the top. If on Clash win, on Clash lose. They should be together. Wait, is this gonna do a lot of damage? Please. It would be funny. I love this skill. It's so swag. That was pretty decent. Honestly, wait, my brain is enormous. My brain is enormous. How the fuck did she win that? I'm so fucking smart. How did I win this? I don't even know the mechanic. How do you get Vibrant Palette? Okay, wait, no, she could still win. I also don't like it when bosses don't have a stagger threshold. That shit's annoying. Okay. Not to do my victory lap before I've made the touchdown, whatever that guy did. How the fuck do you get Vibrant Palette? Combat end. Inflict 1 Vibrant Palette next turn to centers that have Mauled Colored Rouge, Mauled Color Blue, and Touche Hardier simultaneously. What? Is that based on which skill you clash with? Oh, you were supposed to clash with different skills to get the different colors. Oh, I see. However, have you considered the following? Favored? I don't trust that. I don't trust you for a goddamn second. And also, y'all are getting kind of low on health. Go my fluid sac. Which one has the smallest number? This one. Go. Neutral. Holy shit. You know what? For fun. No, it has an unbreakable. I'm so mad how they nerfed to Pathos Mathos by making every boss ever have unbreakable coins so its passive does not work. Because you're going to get hit constantly because everything has unbreakable coins now. It's so annoying. Alrighty. Everyone go. Imagine she lost. The not readers win again. Assuming she doesn't have a secret phase 3. Or that we all die right now. But you know what? I don't know what's telling me this. I think we're gonna be okay. I did it! I mean, here's phase 3! I can't believe they let me win right through it. That's crazy. I only had to read the big skill, as God intended. Maestro. Ah! Oh! Oh! Wait, they basically all did the same. Don Quixote no longer washed. See, like, she does a lot of damage. That's not her problem. Her problem is that her skill 1 is not very good. And she'll very often lose clashes. And because she doesn't have a lot of health and has a very high first stagger threshold, there's a very likely chance that if on any clash she loses, she will get immediately staggered. And she has bad ego. Not very good ego. So she has a hard time clashing with really big numbers, except with her skill 3. You're doing a hard mode for this boss in the coming week? Are you making things up? I mean, that's fine. Maybe I'll have to actually understand the mechanic. But even then, it doesn't seem that bad. Just make sure you're clashing with the correct skills. Ringy Song is at the bottom because he fucking died. To be fair, that was my fault. Alright. Reading time. Wait, what are we gonna do if this ends soon? Gah! See, you're already looking much better with those superfluous animal parts removed. She hates furries. What the hell? You're serious about founding your own movement. I already answered that. But you'll need time. Under the Falvis wing. At least until you can fully cultivate your movement, perhaps. I don't suppose words have any meaning now. The dachshund raised her giant arm as though to strike us in her final act of defiance. Ringy Song is a glass cannon. Yeah. See, but at least he has a lot of ways to gain offense level. Like, his skill 2 and his skill 3 both clash pretty well. And, depending on the team you're running, his skill 1 can also be good. Also, he provides gloom to the team, so you can use Gloom Ego. I've thought about this. Slammed it down upon the door we entered through instead. All I can do is buy time for... Mid-sentence, the dachshund suddenly went limp like a marionette whose strings were cut. Dead. God damn it, we kill another furry. And here I thought her last words were going to be succinct. Yeah, her thing is not about being superfluous. Finding the most meaning in the least things to say. Thus, we are made foes with yet another finger, the ring. Let's not doom and gloom already, fellas. We beat an officer of the fingers all on our own for the first time, didn't we? I see this as a pretty definitive win. All on your own, huh? You know what? You did do a decent amount of the work. Come on, bro. I was fighting my ass off out here. Herr Gregor has a point. The outcome of this battle would not have been changed by a significant margin even if you had not been here, Kira. This is more like it. Won't have to freak out if a mere BB anymore, long as we're with Clock. Huh! Don't start congratulating yourselves for achieving the bare minimum. Those who celebrate over so small an occasion don't deserve to stand with the executive Well, I guess this isn't impressive at all to people who used to be much stronger, like Otis or Don Quixote. Prithee, speak not such folly, for the joy of my compatriots is my own. Have you any inkling as to why she might have, in her final moments, elected to demolish the door? Yeah, because we're going to be running from Miss Benoit soon. Right? It's not like we have any shortage of doors near. Are we really debating the logical thought process of someone who is 2 seconds away from dropping dead? Come on, let's get out of here so we can bring everyone else up to date. Didn't I just leave this room? Ishmael walked out through the door we'd entered through and appeared from behind us. Oh shit! Where'd the exit go? Don't tell me the exit changes every time someone walks through it. No, it can't be that easy. I am barred from enjoying the fresh air of the world outside. No longer free to travel the mountains and cliffs as my feet would carry me, as the other members of the Pinky are. I wish to no avail that I should be allowed to weave the delineations of wings and back streets. So this is what she meant. The back door through which we traversed is a passage to the corridor, one called the Index Nurse Father. Cross the broken door we might. However, it avails us but a brief jaunt to the Pinky Nurse Father's azure corridor before it returns us to this room. Room's now locked in a loop without a starting point. Won't matter what door we open. Is there anything we can do? A rescue team will arrive in time. As the location adheres to the regular flow of time, unlike warp trains, it will be approximately between a week or two from the present before we can return. That's pretty long. Well, the first problem we're gonna have to deal with is food. As far as I'm aware, we should be good to go for at least 3 days. Thanks, Roja. So let's, I didn't bring any snacks. It's not like we were about to walk into one of the L Corp branches or a dungeon, so... Yeah, makes sense. Looks like we're gonna have to give this room a thorough search then. No need. If there's no exit, we cut open our own. What part where it cuts into your memories do? Deal with that yet? I did not read that correctly, whatever. No, the sword. It still cleaves my memories with every slash. Don't know what memory it'll slice away this time, but it'll be something recent. Or one I hold dear. Oi! Don't be so bloody rash about it! Other than me, no one but Heathcliff still remembers the person he holds in the loving depths of his heart. Ever since that day of the sepia tempest, memory took on a special precious meaning to Heathcliff. Heathcliff suddenly reached out and grabbed Ryoshu's arm. Though Ryoshu and Heathcliff's circumstances were undoubtedly different from each other, it was clear that Ryoshu's reckless attitude towards sacrificing her own memories triggered a sort of anxiety in Heathcliff. What? Didn't you hear? Them nerds will be here in a week or two to let us out. Why don't we just keep that sword nicely in that scabbard and wait it out? The radio doesn't work. What if we went to the rooftop and entered one of those doors up there? There's thousands of them. Out of the question. By doing so, we will be putting ourselves at a greater risk, that of casting ourselves into the endless maze that is the corridor. Okay, but we're dead meat if that brick wall of a maestro wanders into this room. That wolf lady's last words. Oh man, I'm seeing the flags. Oh shit, wait, Kira can't live. No! It's a hella risky move, but... Yeah, I think Yoshihide and her OP sword is our best bet. Right, but what if we got lucky and they find us in a day or two? Quit freaking out, HC. It will only be forgotten, not lost. Well, good memories don't tend to last very long. It's been a fun excursion, Clock. I looked toward the scabbard, expecting it to rattle violently as it did earlier, but it remains still. The white blade soon reveals itself, and cuts across the wall where the door used to be. And naturally, as the Arayashiki's blade cleaves through the wall, so does it Ryoshu's memories. Aw, we were really getting somewhere. The thin strands of Araya's image, which had just begun to coalesce, slowly unraveled and fell apart once again. Even still, Araya released the blade without hesitation. Well, but it's okay. We'll try again, so... Conveying no resentment, no hatred, but a few words of consolation. Don't feel too bad. As her voice faded into the gentle dark with Ryoshu's memories. Wait, this is so short. Hashtag my shiny hunting or hashtag my short stream? Which? The next destination. Man, I could have done all this yesterday. Ah, welcome back. Question. What exactly was the point of verifying every back door within the House of Spiders? Oh, Hohenheim didn't fill you in? Any information regarding these doors holds an enormous value to us, not to mention the higher-ups requesting us to reorganize the House of Spiders into a base of operations as soon as possible, even if we had to rush our work a little. Only speculating here, but I'm quite convinced that they're preparing for a conflict of sorts. These little pockets of absolute safety are extremely valuable during these operations, as you already know. Wait, stop right there. What conflict? What operation? Are you saying that your bosses are preparing for a war or something? I just feel like there isn't enough alarm in his voice considering, considering what he's saying. Preparing for what? Not even trying to hide it anymore, huh? Did I say something wrong? Must you ask to know? I thought everyone already knew. I mean, it's an open secret at this point. L Corp has already fallen. W Corp is teetering on the brink of collapse. You call us the aspirant W Corp. We call Limbus Company the aspirant L Corp, meaning we have a shared goal. But unlike the dead and gone, L Corp. Oh wait, unlike the dead and gone L Corp, the current W Corp's still kicking, despite its rapid decline in the recent years. And as we all know, companies in the city aren't worth much unless they got the military force to back them, right? It's only natural that a little business conflict would lead to a business one as well. Wait, I'm so not readful. A business conflict would lead to a physical one. This is just a mere team leader speaking, though. Who knows what the higher-ups in our companies are thinking? Either way, much fruitful collaboration was had today. This will reflect pretty in our performance metrics, and we didn't even suffer that many losses. I can safely say that you should expect a positive review from us regarding this collaboration. After saying our farewells to Alan, we returned to the forward base, and shared with Hohenheim everything that's happened so far. Hohenheim and Faust both did not seem willing to discuss the subject of the looming conflict, so we decided instead to have Ryoshu's memories and sword re-examined. Oi, Hohenheim, results out yet? Not yet, Assistant. I clearly remember telling you 3 minutes ago that it would take about 20 more minutes. Have you forgotten already? He talks too much. Ryoshu sounded irritated as she scolded Heathcliff, but I could sense a definite undercurrent of anxiety from the way she kept puffing cigarettes to a stub at increasingly shorter intervals. This room might be the more smoke than oxygen at this point. Mind slowing down a tad? You're practically fumigating the room with cigarette smoke. And speed up, glasses. I'm gonna bounce as soon as I hear the results. Both of you need to learn and to respect that things take time. Yes, time is indeed relative, but the fact that I've managed to complete an in-depth analysis of an item of such a mystery in a single day is an incredibly fast turnaround, and therefore deserves your appreciation. As I've been attempting to rein in the more self-indulgent part of myself as of late, but I believe this achievement deserves to be elaborated upon. It is an evident truth that such a result could not have been replicable had it not been for my genius brain. Go out to the hallways and grab any passing researcher and tell them about my incredible turnaround time, and you'll hear them say, "Whoa, done already?" And to that I'll answer, STFU. Evidently tired of the two sinners alternating turns hounding him for results, Hohenheim seemed to speed up the analysis and managed to hit the finish line much earlier than 20 minutes. Whoa, done already? Yes. There are times when test results are extracted earlier than the predicted time frame. Many of those instances are easily attributable to my genius at work. And why aren't you saying anything? Give me the TR now. You did tell me to shut the fuck up, so I'm attempting to observe the exact merits of doing precisely that. I'm glad that they get to say fuck now. Ha! You think Yoshihide would ever use known acronyms straight? What if it's something like, sheesh, that's a full day, unwind after work, though? And your verdict on her interpretation? That's exactly what I meant. She's better than MTL in some ways. How she lies as she breathes. Who the fuck are the translators? Why? I know what you are, JoJo fan. At that moment, I might have caught a glimpse of the scabbard rattling slightly atop the examination device, almost as though it were giggling. Yeah, very well. Then I'll get right to it. First, the memory of the time she was complimented for her cooking has been erased. Huh? That's it? Hardly. Second, a name has been erased from her memory. Do you recall the name of the man who works with Manager Sod? Effie? Oh, pilot. I would have asked in the past tense had it been him who I was referring to. I'm glad Miss Sod wasn't here for that. That kid. Right. I don't remember his name. She forgot Pilot's name, and to be fair, so did the rest of us. That she did. Among other miscellaneously deleted memories are 172 hours of Don Quixote's tales of adventures and the types of food she fed to a seagull. Fie upon it! Dost thou say that the memory is most precious to young Ryoshu and me? have been thrown into utter destruction. Look, Donkey, I'm not trying to be mean here, but that seems pretty acceptable, doesn't it? For the price of unsheathing a sword like that. If we're going by sheer volume, I wouldn't say its mileage is acceptable. It erased several days' worth of memories just for a single swing, didn't it? I mean, yeah, but they kind of sounded like inconsequential memories, don't they? Greg and Heath forget stuff all the time. How's this any different? The seemingly inconsequential nature of these particular memories weren't achieved by sheer luck. In fact, it seems to have been infected by the scabbard of the Aranaya Shiki, or, to be more precise, the power of Araya's ego. That's so. Ryoshu looked down at the scabbard with an uncertain, hollow look in her eyes. All that remains of Araya in Ryoshu's recollection is a blank space where the fragments of her existence used to be, severed and removed again. Well, it takes a rather significant amount of time, the scabbard seems to be, yes, capable of selecting which of Sinner Ryoshu's memories are to be erased as a cost of using Araya Shiki. Sounds like I should be grateful then. But Ryoshu regards the scabbard with a conflicted look, as though to approximate the outlines of the void she left behind. Oh, so it's got like a cooldown timer? She can use it whenever, as long as she gives it the exact time to select the trivial memories. I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss them as trivial. The memory of time when you were complimented for your cooking. It was quite a precious memory, wasn't it? You've performed an inverse calculation of the relic's cost. Yes, according to our measurements, the sword seems to factor in the weight of each memory when calculating the cost of wielding it. It's become rather clear that it takes more light memories to properly wield it. So, have her memories been restored? As presumed, attempts to recall the erased being's existence have resulted in failure. That is quite discouraging. But not all is lost. Simply knowing that something used to be in that negative space. Oh my god, that's what her art movement is based off of. Many things can still be reminisced upon. Like Ryoshu said, forgotten, but not lost. Clock. You just stepped foot into the world of sangria. She flashes the briefest of smiles and scatters it away with a plume of cigarette smoke. I get it. Collecting the GB will restore it. What used to be here in the pockets of my void and a void in my heart, my one and only. Ryoshu traced the invisible, the unperceivable. A few more days passed us by. We didn't spend those days idling. We visited Sod and Pilot in recovery, did a few odd jobs here and there, like helping suppress a distortion containment breach caused by a new LCE hire. But with all the loose threads tied up, we managed to, finally, after so long, it kind of feels like we're home again. Return to the bus. Ah, bus, sweet bus. The chair could use a bit more cushioning, but there isn't anything like it out there. Huh, this is your ride. Hella badass. They kind of have the same voice. Between the two individuals who were looking rather pleased at Kira's astonishment, Hohenheim squeezed through to warn us about some things to watch out for. As I asked Team Leader Allen to set the coordinates somewhere as close as possible to the nest, keep driving through the door, and it will bring you right to an empty spot on the highway. Oh my god. Don't hesitate or hit the brakes, because if by any chance there is a car driving behind you, it will crash into the bus. Nuts. So, what are you two doing here on the bus? Decided to join the team, did you? I must admit to a certain degree of interest in hearing your exploits, but to accompany you through them is an entirely different matter, isn't it? I'm only here to adjust your coordinates. Speaking of which, just how did you manage to escape your confinement? I told them I had some stuff to help you with, and they let me out after making me scribble all over some docs. Solitary confinement's hella boring. So I thought I might get some air. Might as well say goodbye to might as well say goodbye too while I'm out and about, right? I see. You exploited the fact that the new hires don't hold any grudges against you. I thought I told them to impress upon the new hires that prisoners are to be treated as exceptions to the... Right. The person in charge of that training is currently checked into the long-term recovery ward. More problems stemming from the shortage of manpower. I'd best include this in the report. Sounds like they're both here to see us go. Well then, time for a valediction, I suppose. Perhaps I've grown far too used to seeing your faces. Saying goodbye doesn't come out as easily as I had expected to. Another day of reunion must await in the future. They also kind of have similar voices. I would appreciate it if such reunion had a low probability of occurring. Well, I'm not very partial to mathematical statistics like probability theory. I hope her prediction is dead right. Well then. Hey, Yoshihide. What? Well, I wouldn't say we're family exactly, but listen, there's a lot of stuff I want to say to you, and a lot of stuff I want to hear from you, okay? So, SYL. Did I do it right? Acronymize it into L. And call me Ryoshu, not Yoshihide. Prefer the echoes of that name. After a round of goodbyes, the two disembarked from the bus, and no sooner had the machinery clicked into place than the bus's wheels finally beginning to turn, bringing us closer toward a blindingly radiant portal massive enough to engulf the bus hull. Well, off to our next destination, I guess. Oh, right. Where are we headed next? Hee 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 hee. Bitches be going to N Corp. Dante inquires about the next destination. The next destination, Virgilius. Ah, now that's more like it. Been too bloody long since I heard that question. Yeah, don't get too excited. When has an answer to that question ever led us anywhere that's not downright bizarre? Virgilius gave me a faint, knowing smile as though to confirm Ishmael's pessimistic remark, then delivered a comment that sounded too light-hearted for its gravity. Downright bizarre, is it? Well, let me just say that it's high tide we face such a sight. Our next destination is District 14. In other words, Manager Dante, we are now en route to N Corp. So, we are going there after all. N Corp. Plenty of faces there I'd rather not see. As the rest of the sinners voiced their various gripes and discontent with N Corp, Merceau, who probably had the most amount of history with the wing, simply flipped open his newspaper like usual and began reading it with the same unchanging expression. I feel bad in saying I'm scared to be excited for his Kanto because I was really excited for Ryoshu Kanto and was vastly disappointed. But I'm excited. I'm excited to get it into half a year. As though for him, none of this changed anything. Now departing, vroom vroom. With that, the bus resumed its journey to yet another tale. That was it? That only took an hour 45. Honestly, though, pretty solid. Good wrapping up on the Kanto 9 stuff. But also, low-key, it felt like there was a lot of information that just could have been in the Kanto itself. But whatever. It's also pretty good. I'm glad we got more insight into Ryoshu and her insight or her takes on her art. Because I always thought that was one of the more interesting things about her character. What is this? Oh my god, visual glitch detected. Because on the home screen, that's where my ticket would be. Alright, let's see. First of all, look at how good my player card is. Look at how good it is. So I'm probably not going to use this new one. but we'll see. Ooh, I like that, though. Oh my god, I didn't confirm it. Rah! Also, I think I'm probably gonna call it, and it'll be like it'll just be a shorter stream. Yeah, the outside of the ticket is really nice. This part is fine. Oh. Okay, actually, that's kind of fire. I lied. This is pretty good. But it doesn't match. Where is it? Here. The absolute peak that is this. Does this work? Yeah, it kind of does. I like it more. I like it saying Limbus Company more than I like it saying Season 7. Nice. And then what does the thing look like? LCE. Oh my god. Araya mention. No, she's gone. I'll put it. Oh, the numbers. Wait, no. Ah! Clicking. Anyway, my friend code if anyone wants it. I have every single Yi song. Yeah, I feel the need to plug. Yeah, my wrist kind of hurt. I don't... And also my voice is kind of like meh from having to do all the voices. So yeah. Sorry for shorter stream, but we got accomplished what I've wanted to do. Oh my god, wait, no. Where is it? I kind of hate this UI sometimes. Here. Okay. Before I leave, though, one thought. I like how they have Gregor, Araya Shiki, so Araya, and Sinclair, as if these are the main 3 things that we're going to be focusing on in the Intervalo. Point to the information that we've learned about Sinclair in this Intervalo. I'll wait. Like, we literally learned nothing. It was nothing. It was a whole lot of nothing. They made a big hoopla about, oh my god, I'm getting pulled aside for human experimentation. And then they're like, actually, well, people can't see the sign. We don't really know what the sign does still. He doesn't remember anything about the sign. We don't know how to do it again. We didn't learn anything. And it's like, oh. So you wasted my time? It feels like all we learned was not actually about Sinclair and about the sign, but about Shin and Mong. It was an excuse to exposition to me, the reader, about Shin and Mong. No? Like, yeah, we did have the Gregor stuff, so that one feels appropriate, also because he awoke from his coma. And then, like, yeah, of course, Araya was pretty important in this. Get this bozo off of my screen. I'm sick of him. I am sick and tired of this twink. I want this twink annihilated. Oh, brother. But yeah, also I like seeing more factions of the Ring, because the Ring is a what the fuck is it called? Leviathan exclusive, Limbus Company exclusive. And now we finally get more information about them, more factions, which is nifty. All right. I'm going to go stretch my wrists and maybe even go to bed early. Thanks for hanging out. We'll continue shiny hunting in earnest next week unless I find it over the weekend. We'll see. I'll see you then. All right. Bye-bye.